Hello everybody! Modulo is a musical game and part of my larger program with the motto "Everyone can be a composer." Composing is a cultural technique which, in contrast to painting, is typically not taught at school. One often hears the ability to compose music requires the mastery of very extensive and complicated theory buildings, respectively harmony and counterpoint theory. The doubts about the possibility of being able to compose may also be based on the fact that, on the one hand, it is clear that in the process of painting there is a lively alternation between an active and a more observant attitude, and that the painter is in search of his way. Whereas, as far as the process of composition is concerned, the myth of the genius persists, in which everything is already finished in spirit and he only has to write it down. Keyword Mozart. Perhaps in comparison to painting, one has not looked too often over the shoulder of a composer to find out that this is exactly how it works here, but with the restriction that the composer has so far only been able to obtain sound feedback if he has mastered some sort of polyphonic musical instrument. As far as this is concerned, this immediate sound feedback can nowadays be provided by computer-aided methods. Concerning the first point, it has to be said that we obviously need inner models of the things we are dealing with. These models help us to reduce the amount of information that needs to be considered in order to practically master a particular area of life. For example, try to remember track 8, car number 254, seat number 63 at 1326, just once for a hypothetical train reservation. You cannot do without a pair of mnemonic bridges, although there is only about 5 bytes of information here. The trick in Modulo, and generally in an approach I call AOG, Algorithmic Operations Grammar, is that I'm building a musical theory of an inner sign system that most people of intermediate education have already learned, namely the mathematical sign system of arithmetic, supplemented with some theory on mathematical sequences and series. In the game, on the side of each opponent, you will find a so-called source tile. Its function can be imagined in such a way that it enumerates the integers with 0 in equidistant time steps, hence 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and so on. All other tiles represent mathematical operations, which are connected like a cascade of filters behind one of the source tiles. But how is Modulo played at all? The rules of the game. Players can either agree to play before the start of the game until someone reaches or surpasses a certain number of points first, or set a certain fixed playing time. As in chess, the opponents make one move alternately. White begins. As an incentive for the opponents, the points gained are calculated and displayed after each move automatically. Each player has exactly one source stone in his stock. All other tiles in the pool represent arithmetic operations. A move consists of placing a tile from your own stock on the board in any free space. Instead, you can move any of your own tiles on the board to any free space or put it back into the stock. How does the respective game situation result in the operations that are applied to the source tiles? Starting from a source tile representing t equals 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, the arithmetic operations represented by the other tiles are applied sequentially along the path of the shortest orthogonal distances. This path is continued from tile to tile, beginning with the source tile until one reaches a point where the condition shortest orthogonal distance is no longer unambitious, or the continuation of the path would include a tile that is already part of the same previous path. The pieces included in a path can be white or black. Which player owns the path is determined by the source stone alone. These two paths are automatically determined and always displayed. A green line is displayed for the path of the white player. A red line for the path of the black player. Now, which operations do the tiles represent? The operand is coded by its color. Yellow means 1, light blue means 2, red means 3, dark blue means 4, green means 5, purple means 6. This number is multiplied by the distance to the previous tile, so the operand of this tile is 7 times 5, so it is 35. The operation is coded by the form of the tile, and it has two characteristics. The first one is the form, which can be cross, circle or square. The second characteristic is the number of occurrences of these forms, which can be 1, 2, 3. A single plus means plus. A single circle means multiplication. A single square means minus. A double square means equals and is a filter which is passed if the operand equals the actual value of t. Cross, double cross means not equals, and it is passed if the actual value of the operand is not equal to the actual value of t. Then triple cross is passed if the operand is not a divider of t, and triple circle is passed if the actual operand is a divider of the actual value of t. Finally, triple square is a modulo division. Now let's play this game. Here is the white side, here is the black side. The opponents sit here and there, and first white begins and black puts his tile. Then it makes sense to start with the source tiles. You see there is made a path. It's the shortest distance beginning from the source tile. Left side, white. There is playing piano. Right side, black. There is playing picked bass and vibraphone. Here a game can be ended and resetted. And we can start again playing. So how music is generated from the game situation. As this explained before, the source tile represents a counter, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And the other tiles represent arithmetic operations. And each result of such a chain is taken as a divisor of a so-called base number. And if this division is possible, the result is interpreted as a frequency which can be played. This base number can also be changed by changing its factors. And it can be composed from prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7 with a potential of 0 to 5. And what is more, there is a factor 55 by 207 which calculates the hearable frequency from the calculated frequency. These parameters are for automatic play, and here you can change the tempo. Here the default can be set, and the result of a game, it's not too long, can be saved as a sound file. How to play can also be read here on the right menu bar. What is more, with these buttons it's possible to save actual gaming situations and restore them. For example, to make up performance from interesting game situations. Here you can let the game play by itself by going to automatic mode. Now I will make a performance from already saved gaming situations. So, thank you for your interest in Modulo.